by my other house. And the way that he was routing, everybody would always leave their trash in these bins. You're supposed to take care of your shit. And the trash bins would always be over, but I saw that he was rounding out. He was going further and further out and getting closer and closer and closer at camp. So I told my coach, I was like, let's scout him. And my coach just got back from Africa and hunting, and he just killed a couple wildebeest and some sables and some other shit. And that's where my trip is going to be next. And so it's a little different, man. I told him, I was like, let's go bait this bear. And we actually did, and we caught him in our trash. It was funny as fuck.
I mean, does anybody say, how about we just stay inside, Tony, and not do that?
No, because immediately as soon as we saw it, what do? I made everybody go for a walk with me. And it was the middle of nothing, and we all lost power for how long? Like almost a day. So when we lost power, I mean, I had no AC. I put myself in the worst position possible to go. My camp was really cool. I'm going to be real with you. They had the nicer cabin. Myself and my wife and my kids, we had the one which wasn't so nice because I needed to have that. I needed to get back to Rocky style where I needed to fucking get that grunge in again. And with the bear, it was cool. It wasn't like I wanted to go and hurt him, but I wanted to scout him. I wanted to see how good I was. And I'm pretty fucking good. Found his water table, found his food supply, found out where his route was, found everything that was, and then boom, there he goes. And on our way out, he gave us a little salute.
That's wild. So you said you asked for this fight. Was it you asked for this matchup, or you asked for just like this date, this event?
I asked for the fight. I asked for a fight. I want to get back into it, but I want to get back into it wholeheartedly. Last couple of fights, I haven't really been in it. I mean, I'm going to be real with you guys. Trying to impress you fuckers is not my forte. I'm going to be real with it. I'm not trying to do that. But when we were preparing for Lee, I was eating slushies that week. You know, when we had Nate was hard to take fucking serious. It was almost like, I didn't want to lose, but I'm going to be real. Like, here, take your fucking victory, get the fuck out of here, and go make some money. Here, let me slap you on your ass so you can go over there, dude. Because you obviously don't want to fucking be here. I've helped out the UFC plenty of times, gotten paid, and I did my shit. Taking my res, remodeled my house. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck you want to do. I bought a business for my retirement out of manufacturing. I have one of the oldest manufacturing businesses for wrestling equipment, and I'm making machines. It's funny. So everybody's all talking about Boston Dynamics. I'm the kind of guy, that fucking helps you prepare for that shit.
Nice. Bobby Green, veteran of the sport, obviously entertaining style. I mean, what are you expecting? The way you guys match up, it seems like it could be a pretty wild fight in there.
I think he's a confused individual. I think he doesn't know what the hell that guy's going to expect from me. You know, that type of guy is kind of that one where you really don't understand it. He texted me on Father's Day, and it said, maybe Bobby Green. I already knew it. I already had his contact. So before, we had the same sponsor from King of the Cage a long time ago. I met him, and he was with this lady. And I had no animosity. He was just cool. And, you know, say what's up. And even after his Landon Venata fight, he comes back, and he was smiling. I gave him, hey, good job, you know, kind of like that when I was about ready to walk out of mine. And then he texts me on Father's Day when I'm enjoying my family time, saying, hey, is this El Cucuy? Happy Father's Day, I told him. I already knew it was him. And then he said, beforehand, I texted him. He texted me twice more. And he said, hey, yo, this is your opponent. I already knew. But afterwards, he said, happy Father's Day. Now, I'm not going to call him a bitch ass, but I just saw him in the lobby not too long ago. Mr. Flashy. It's cool, it's your thing, it's your key, I get you. But when he saw me, he looked like he saw the fourth horseman of death. It was kind of fucking crazy. And I explain to people too, when people get quiet, when you walk into a room, it's different when you have to demand presence, but I don't really demand presence, but everybody gets fucking quiet when I walk into a room. That dude was really quiet.
Last thing for me, Tony. What does this fight represent for you, right? Because you said you kind of weren't really into the last ones, and you made all the sacrifices and made all the right moves. So what does this win mean for you? I mean, is this about proving something to yourself, to other people? What does this mean for you?
Nah, I want to win. You got to realize it, dude. I'm not used to losing. I mean, I'll show you guys, like, I've been competing in sports since I was 30, like maybe 4, 5. I've been competing in sports for 30 plus years at the highest level. I mean, talking about state championships in football, baseball, wrestling, national championship in wrestling. Could have chose different sport. Could have been baseball. Could have been football. Could have went on, did this stuff. I chose wrestling, which was cool because I had an opportunity. After wrestling, went over here and did this stuff. Man, you get burned out. Pandemic. Took a full pandemic for me to lose my 12-fight win streak. Not angry at it. Took, you know. But I had to fire some coaches. I had to fire some people because I was trying to get them back. And they weren't good for me. It was toxic. It was toxic to me, and I didn't realize it. How much I was looking forward to that. You know, I can go and reiterate on some things, but I won't. But what I'll say is my focus is back. And it's not like, oh, deadly, this. No, it's the focus is back. If I'm sending my people out there to go and like to the wrestling or in football or whatever it is, I got to make sure that I play my part. I got to make sure I maintain my lane. I got to make sure I do my shit. And last couple fights, I hadn't been doing that. I've been helping people up, helping them up, trying to help these fighters up and coming. You know, I got a couple boxers, couple MMA fighters I've been looking after. I had to say, you know what, I have to excuse myself for a second. I got to quit helping all these different types of people, and I have to help myself. And the way that you do that is by getting the work, is by getting it done. My coach always says, nobody ever drowned in sweat, which was pretty cool. And I'm going to be real with you. I had to get back to that kind of moment and mentality of it where we were 2-time national champions at GVSU, man. I'm going to be real. And I had to realize that what kind of an athlete I am. And I'm going to bring that this weekend.
Tony, right here. Can you talk about graduating from Harvard? Because that seemed to be a big story when it came up. You didn't even know you were back in school or anything.
Well, the funny part was I didn't really graduate from Harvard. It's a program that I'm still in. And that's awesome. It's a Harvard HBS. It's a continuing education type of thing. It's fucking badass. Everything that I've seen the UFC going through from the time that I first started all the way through here, I mean, you just wait. My business and everything else, where I'm at in this moment of life, like I said, I just secured my retirement. For that, you don't have UFC matching my numbers. You know, if I'm buying stock, they're not matching my stock. They're not looking for my 401k. They're not doing that. Maybe if I plant this seed now, it will, because last time I said the insurance thing, what happened? It went, right? I'm a trendsetter. What I did at HBS was just to go back to school so my kid could understand that you have to make the grade to play. So you're talking about me getting my homework from HBS, Harvard Business School, doing the same time my kid is doing his homework. And then I'm making him go to the academy with me, and I'm telling him, like, this is how it goes. It never stops. It never stops. You can say it, right? How long have I been saying I want to continue education? Long time. Everybody's like, yeah, sure, Tony, whatever, man. It's easy as fuck. I want to go back. I want to get my doctorate. So that's another challenge for myself. When I keep challenging myself and I keep setting these goals, that keeps me going. For a long time, I was just floating there. My mom would always say, you're floating. We need to tie you back down here for a second. I get it, but no, I'm a dreamer. I'm a big dreamer, and I dream fucking big. I want to have my machines in every single UFC gym, and I guarantee it's going to happen. I'm going to be real with you. Matt Serra says he wants to be the first customer. I'm like, you know what? You got to stand in line, because Kerry Colat from University of Wyoming's got 2 on the way, and I got a couple from a couple other universities. I wanted to become a scout, and I am a scout. Up-and-coming fighters and all these talent that coming up, and sometimes they just don't know how to get access to this agency right here. Well, it doesn't have to be just this agency, but I love this agency, and I work for it right now. So that's what I do, is I secured this position. So if I ever wanted to see a fighter, an up-and-coming athlete, do whatever, I make a phone call to these guys at these universities that I have all these contacts for, and they trust me because I work my ass off. And the guy that I bought the company from, Coach Catcher, badass, is Dan Gable's roommate. And I brought him over there, right? And I got some really cool words, and I got to be in his apprentice for like a week, learning how to build these things, and just learning to just completely, I can't explain it. When you have people that have experience in a sport that you have, and it's just amazing, like just the amount of like information that you can just download through, just always. And somebody that doesn't look at your questions like they're stupid, and they're giving you information that's valuable. Like I do that. I give away millions of dollars of information and inspiration on my Instagram page. You guys have no idea how far that shit goes. Look, there's a new Turtles movie coming out, right? Yeah, right? I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that goes out there. I'm not saying I'm the one, but I'm going to be real with you. When it goes into music, taste, and trends and shit like that, that's awesome. But you can't force it. And I'm going to be real. So I'm here this week, not forcing anything. I did all the work. HBS, I love HBS. I'm still there. I'm still doing it. I keep in touch with my advisors. In the UFC, I just gave Dana knuckles. And I told him, I was like, that's boat move, signing up with the WWE. Because everybody wants to copy the NFL. Now, NFL wanted to get to, 27 bill per cap, 29 bill by 27. And UFC just co-in with the WMEIE, right? And they were about like 23. So, I mean, if you wanted to get there and then you wanted to create leagues and you wanted to actually get paid and so on and so forth, it's the right way. So my facility is still standing, right? It was the only one that didn't close during the pandemic. I got my coach, Dave Mills, and I got a couple other coaches and associates that I'm going to be doing some really big things in the next couple of years. Hope that answered your question.
Tony, who will be in your corner on Saturday?
Coach Dave Mills. I got my trainer and buddies. I have Juan Gomez, another coach, and I have Jeremiah Vance, another trainer and coach. And I also have Brandon Gibson here as well. He'll be here tonight.
Tony, who are you picking to win between Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler?
I hope they knock each other the fuck out. I was supposed to coach on The Ultimate Fighter. I can't hate on it, but I was supposed to coach on The Ultimate Fighter against Khabib. He's off on his world tour still. And I guess whatever he had happening, he didn't have enough balls to go and coach his cousin. So I already knew that there was something pretty major that had ended up happening. So around that time, we were in November when I knew that we were going to coach against him. I had meetings with Hunter and so on and so forth, and this was game, dude. I did everything I needed to do in order to get Khabib back, but he ran away like a pussy. So fuck you, Khabib.
This was his last season. You were going to coach it against Khabib?
Yeah, you guys didn't even know that, did you?
Nope.
No, nobody knew that shit. But that's the behind the scenes type of stuff. That's the kind of talks that I have with the brass. That's the kind of talks that I have that you guys have no idea what relationship that I have with them. And it's cool as fuck because when you're clutch like me, you get to kind of talk a little bit.
And lastly, what about Nate, the guy you said, you slapped him on the arse and sent him away? He's now fighting Jake Paul. Do you think you set him out with a victory to get against Jake, or do you think he might?
I hope they knock each other the fuck out. I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't give a fuck. They wanted me to do some betting thing to get paid through sponsor, talk about the fight. I hope they knock each other the fuck out. I hope they make money doing it, and I hope that the next generation is not a bunch of pussies, that they follow the suit that I'm following, because I got a lot of these older dudes like Don Fry, Chuck Liddell that are looking to me to carry that flag and then one day pass it on, but it ain't happening any fucking time soon.
Do you also hope Dustin and Justin knock each other the fuck out?
Absolutely. Double knockout, bitches. That's fucked up. Trying to watch my language, guys. You guys just keep following. You just keep following it. Fuck.
He came in and called us fuckers. That was the first thing he said.
I want to be real with you guys. It's always been cool. And then I feel at this point in time in my life that I'm just barely hitting my prime, which is crazy. And one of my coaches, Juan, he was earlier, we were doing mitts between interviews. And I told him, I was like, I've been getting up early and I just, I have to lay down. I was like, I know I have to lay down. And I got up and I did my interview and I was like, hey, is the room open? He said, everybody went down there and said, yeah. I said, I'll be right there and bring your mitts. Didn't even wrap up. I went and I hit the pads and I'm fucking sharp. I'm real sharp right now. I'm just as sharp as I look, baby.
Tony, just one more. Everyone looks at the record, sees the 5 losses, but we know the level of competition. You say you're feeling like you're in your prime. So, what do you feel about your future in the sport? Is it safe to say, no amount of setbacks or anything are going to push you out? It's only going to be...
You counted all of my wins in my lifetime, and you counted all of my losses. I'm going to be real with you. Even from college and football and baseball and all of that, there's not much. There's probably less than 20, man. I'm going to be real. Maybe 25, something like that. I mean, most of it's all green or blue. You know what I mean? It was all wins, wins, wins. There was hardly any reds, but if there was, it was like a hiccup. It took a big hiccup for me to get my shit together, which was I needed to get my own shit. Nobody else was going to tell me it. They could propose it. They could say, oh, Tony's going whatever. He's going to retire. No, motherfuckers, fuck you. I'm going to be done when I want to be done. But I'm also going to have to do what I have to do in order to get to where I want to get. 5 fights and a title, baby. I'm out.